trudged down the hill, whistling as he went, with Dick, still in a dead faint, comfortably settled on his shoulders. The sun rose as he came out of the skirts of the wood and saw Tunstall hamlet straggling up the opposite hill. All seemed quiet, but a strong post of some half a score of archers lay close by the bridge on either side of the road, and as soon as they perceived Lawless with his burthen, began to bestir themselves and set arrow to string like vigilant sentries. "Who goes?" cried the man in command. "Will Lawless, by the rood. You know me as well as your own hand," returned the outlaw, contemptuously. "Give the word, Lawless," returned the other. "Now, heaven lighten thee, thou great fool," replied Lawless. "Did I not tell it thee myself? But ye are all mad for this playing at soldiers. When I am in the greenwood, give me the greenwood ways. And my word for this tide is, a fig for all mock soldiery. Lawless, ye but show an ill example. Give us the word, fool jester," said the commander of the post. "And if I had forgotten it?" asked the other. "An ye had forgotten it, as I know ye have not, by the mass, I would clap an arrow into your big body," returned the first. "Nay, and ye are so ill a jester," said Lawless. "Ye shall have your word for me. Duckworth and Shelton is the word. And here, to the illustration, is Shelton on my shoulders, and to Duckworth do I carry him." "Pass, Lawless," said the sentry. "And where is John?" asked the Grey Friar. "He holdeth the court, by the mass, and taketh rents, as to the manor born," replied another of the company. So it proved. When Lawless got as far up the village as the little inn, he found Ellis Duckworth surrounded by Sir Daniel's tenants, and, by the right of his good company of archers, coolly taking rents, and giving written receipts in return for them. By the faces of the tenants, it was plain how little this proceeding pleased them, for they argued very rightly that they would simply have to pay them twice. As soon as he knew what had brought Lawless, Ellis dismissed the remainder of the tenants, and, with every mark of interest and apprehension, conducted Dick into an inner chamber of the inn. There the lad's hurts were looked to, and he was recalled, by simple remedies, to consciousness. "Dear lad," said Ellis, pressing his hand, "y' are in a friend's hands that loved your father, and loves you for his sake. Rest ye a little quietly, for ye are somewhat out of case. Then shall ye tell me your story, and betwixt the two of us we shall find a remedy for all." A little later in the day, and after Dick had awakened from a comfortable slumber to find himself still very weak, but clearer in mind and easier in body, Ellis returned, and sitting down by the bedside, begged him, in the name of his father, to relate the circumstance of his escape from Tunstall Moat House. There was something in the strength of Duckworth's frame, in the honesty of his brown face, in the clearness and shrewdness of his eyes, that moved Dick to obey him, and from first to last the lad told him the story of his 2 days' adventures. "Well," said Ellis, when he had done, "see what the kind saints have done for you, Dick Shelton, not alone to save your body in so numerous and deadly perils, but to bring you into my hands that have no dearer wish than to assist your father's son. Be but true to me, and I see y' are true, and betwixt you and me we shall bring that false heart traitor to the death." "Will ye assault the house?" asked Dick. "I were mad indeed to think of it," returned Ellis. "He hath too much power. His men gather to him. Those that gave me the slip last night, and by the mass came in so handily for you, those have made him safe. Nay, Dick, to the contrary, thou and I and my brave bowmen, we must all slip from this forest speedily, and leave Sir Daniel free." "My mind misgiveth me for Jack," said the lad. "For Jack?" repeated Duckworth. "Oh, I see, for the wench. Nay, Dick, I promise you, if there come talk of any marriage, we shall act at once. Till then, or till the time is ripe, we shall all disappear, even like shadows at morning. Sir Daniel shall look east and west, and see none enemies. He shall think, by the mass, that he hath dreamed a while, and hath now awakened in his bed. But our 4 eyes, Dick, shall follow him right close, and our 4 hands, so help us all the army of the saints, shall bring that traitor low." 2 days later, Sir Daniel's garrison had grown to such a strength that he ventured on a sally, and at the head of some 20 horsemen, pushed without opposition as far as Tunstall hamlet. Not an arrow flew, not a man stirred in the thicket. The bridge was no longer guarded, but stood open to all corners, and as Sir Daniel crossed it, he saw the villagers looking timidly from their doors. Presently, one of them, taking heart of grace, came forward, and with the lowliest salutations presented a letter to the knight. His face darkened as he read the contents. It ran thus: To the most untrue and cruel gentleman, Sir Daniel Brackley, Knight, these. I find ye were untrue and unkind from the first. Ye have my father's blood upon your hands. Let be, it will not wash. Some day ye shall perish by my procurement. So much I let you to wit. And I let you to wit farther, that if ye seek to wed to any other the gentlewoman Mistress Joan Sedley, whom that I am bound upon a great oath to wed myself, the blow will be very swift. The first step therein will be thy first step to the grave. Richard Shelton. End of Book 2, Chapter 5.